I'll just go through these slides briefly to finish off this afternoon. The importance of giving students opportunities to read, to practice, to refine and further develop the strategies that we're teaching them in both whole class, small group situations and individually. And going back to that idea this morning that extensive reading promotes fluency, vocab, background knowledge and comprehension. So daily reading opportunities, and it is actually time spent reading independently, not, oh, we did reading 5 times this week, tick the box. How much was purposeful time on task and how much was purposeful teaching? How much actual reading and thinking did students really do? We've talked this morning about the busy work and the black line masters. That's a tick the box, but it's not actually time on task and time that's going to produce improved student outcomes and development. So the specifically focused reading activities with a skill and with a purpose. And the idea of metacognition, putting the pressure on students to actually express their learning and to develop the language around it. For example, a student being able to say, I'm going to make a picture of each section in my head to help me think about what I'm reading. Or I'm going to think about each chapter before I read it using the headings to predict what might happen or what might be the main event. We need to work with our students to get them to that stage where they can articulate before and during. And that we've talked about that this morning. You know, I'm going to notice or mark 3 new and interesting words, etc. The idea that reading is thinking, that is actually a cognitive activity. It's remembering, it's focusing attention, it's processing information. And over time, building in our students an awareness of their thinking during the reading. Remember we said this morning, questioning before, during and after. Our ultimate aim is that they'll be doing it independently, flexibly, during the reading. And that can build into students actually self-assessing and setting and goal setting. I know this morning we had a quick chat here about using the fluency matrix that we had a look at last week. Some older students being able to use that to actually set some goals around that are not generic but particular and purposeful for that student. And that it can be oral, it's not always written. And remember that good readers don't rely on any single strategy to comprehend. They apply different strategies at different points in the text, switching strategies as the reading demands. And Marie Clay's definition, I like it because I can apply it to any student from P to Year 12. It's about getting the message, about solving the problems as they arrive, and it increases in power and independence the more it's practiced. And a reminder about the instructional model that we've talked through, and that really important point, the scaffolding is removed over time. A review, I won't read through all of these, but there is no one approach. Assessment and ongoing monitoring is an integral part. The student cognition and metacognition is important. Explicit teaching is required. We've talked about this morning and across the day the difference between giving comprehension, checking at the end, compared to teaching for comprehension. And I think that that's a major shift for some staff in some of our schools. No, okay.